Everybody get up.
Welcome to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I am the Body Mechanic NYC.
How you living, Body Mechanic?
Cool. I'm feeling good.
You
I'm
are?
excited.
You excited?
Really excited.
Why are you excited?
Because we have a special program today.
I am so psyched. This is, I invited 15 people, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 landed.
And there's some in transit also.
I
can
so.
feel it. I
You
can
do?
feel the frequency.
Really?
At least 4 more. Yes.
So today we're going to be talking about what women want and what men want. Do you know what you want, Body
No, it's
Mechanic?
more like what men really want.
And what women really, really want.
Right. They never tell us the truth anyway, but it's all good.
It's all good.
Yes.
So if you have a phone call, you want to have a question, you have a contribution, give us a call. Our number's at the bottom of the screen, I'm sure. And for the next 2 hours, put your seatbelts on and get ready for a ride.
It's going to be a man and woman throwdown. That's right.
So let's introduce our guests. They can introduce themselves. So to my left, we have...
Ramon Swanson from Freeport.
Welcome, Ramon.
Deidre Wembley from Huntington Station.
Welcome, Deidre.
She just moved in her mind.
My name is Derek Van Linton, and I'm from a lot of places.
Okay, welcome, Derek.
I'm Colin Ash. I'm from Bayshore.
Bayshore, Colin, what's up?
Hi, Denise Covell from Millville.
Welcome, Denise.
Thank you.
I'm Stephanie Vasquez from Bayshore.
Awesome. Welcome, welcome all. This is so exciting. We never had this amount of guests at one time, have we?
I know. I'm stoked. I'm so excited I can't even talk. Hold on.
So we had given them all earlier the Body Shop Who Are You Really quiz. So after our next break, we're going to talk about the results.
That's really going to be exciting.
Who
Sorry.
are you really?
You don't think they know? Maybe they don't.
They don't know the Body Shop Who Are You Really? Okay, so the question is, what do women want? Ladies?
We want a lot.
Chella just goes in. She's like,
Where else is there to go?
We do.
But in.
We want a lot, I think. Yeah. Yeah, we want it all.
You want it all?
Yeah,
What does that
career, children.
mean? In regards to relationships,
Relationship.
Denise, what do you want?
I guess someone like my daddy.
And
Yeah, we
what
broke
kind
the
of man
mold.
is he?
Oh, perfect gentleman. Perfect gentleman, generous. Anything you want, presents it to you on a silver platter.
What's your marital status right now?
Oh, I'm single,
You're
divorced.
single?
Yeah.
Do you want to be in a relationship?
I'm not sure.
Are relationships important to you?
Yes, but I don't know if I'm in a place right now to really have one in my life.
Why? Is that because of emotional?
Emotional, and I think career-wise, my career's going to be changing up drastically very soon.
So you have to be in a perfect place in order to welcome a relationship in your mind?
I just think if I were in a better place, it would be more welcoming, yeah.
I don't know,
I'm
that's
planning
kinda-
on
isn't that limiting yourself?
I don't know, but I'm planning on moving out of state, so I don't think that I really want to get so involved with somebody here, thinking that I'm going to be leaving the state.
it
And
might be a distraction.
I don't know. You know, when there's a will, there's a way. Love reaches all parts of the world. Body
That's it.
Mechanic, why are you turning your head?
I was just looking at the bushes.
oh, well, follow me to Florida.
You going to Florida?
I'd like to, yeah.
All right. And in what time frame?
As soon as I sell my house, I'm out of here. Yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry that slipped.
It's okay. I'll still stay inside.
I don't know. I don't believe in limiting myself. You know, you could meet someone tomorrow. Someone could be watching you right
True.
now, and they may have an interest in you, and you just never know what happens. Because when you meet someone that's supposed to be in your world, no matter where they are, or no matter where you are, it's going to happen. Am I right or
Right.
wrong, Body Mechanic?
That is possible.
It is possible.
So I wouldn't limit myself, Denise.
Okay.
The world's your oyster, girl.
I'll keep it in
Them
mind.
sexy legs?
Especially those dance moves.
Oh, she can dance? I
What?
never saw her
She's a
dance.
I love
dancer.
to dance.
I've never seen you dance.
Well, you,
Yeah.
'cause
You don't
Why?
do tango?
that's about the only dance I don't know how to do.
Body Mechanic can teach you. He's taking lessons.
All right.
That's
Game.
cool.
Tango and a
do that.
massage. What's up?
How about you, beautiful? What do you want in a relationship?
I don't know. I agree with you. I think that no matter what point that you're in your life. You need someone that is gonna help you balance out whatever you're going through. So I need someone that's gonna be there unconditionally.
Have you been successful in finding that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did you know that you found it when you received it? Or did it take you some time?
I think it took some time. But you kind of just know when something's right anyway. Yeah.
I like that line. I believe in that. How about you, Deidre? What do you want?
Well, as you know, I'm retired, so I don't really want anything at this point.
You retired from what? I need some more honey.
From
buddies,
dating.
Danny.
I bet you do. That's what she's talking about. I'm trying to hear over here. You want honey.
What are you retired from?
From dating,
Really?
yes,
Really?
Is that's a choice that you've made?
yes.
So
Wait a minute. I saw that on Facebook. That was a status.
what?
Retired.
Really?
Yes.
I've never heard of that. So if someone were to approach you that has an interest, you would just say no, thank you.
Yeah, no, very politely, but no thank you.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. But suppose this person who approached you had things that were attracting to you and things that you may need.
I feel very whole, so I don't really feel like I need anything.
How about things that you may want? that
I'll
you're not
get it
aware
for
of yet?
myself. If the only reason that I want to be with this person is because they've got something that I want, they shouldn't want to be with me.
That's interesting. You're so young to think that way.
I'm not that young. I'm going to be 60 in August.
No, you're very
Oh,
young.
very young.
That's young?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, you look younger than what you are.
Look,
Yeah.
30-something.
Yeah, you look very young.
Must be that raw honey.
Are you retired or just too tired?
Just retired.
Good question.
Just been there, done that.
Well, so have I, but
Got other things to do. It's
I'm not gonna
fine to have
retire.
other things on your mind.
But I want to interject for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when you set parameters in your brain, and the reason why it's not important, once she disconnects, it's really, she's not going to see it. So it doesn't make a difference who comes along, because in her mind, she's already set the parameters. It's like someone's outside the fence. They can't get in.
So, like I always say to you, sex is very psychological.
How did we go from her brain to sex?
Same thing. Because
We jumped the fence?
Because what she's doing in her mind is psychologically setting parameters.
Right, she's
It's
disconnecting
psychological.
from the environment. Right.
Right. So, same thing.
And she's happy. She looks really happy, and she looks fantastic.
Thank you.
I would love to be a fly on the wall when some hunk of dory approaches you and can provide you with the world plus. I want to see you reject that.
You know what? I think it would mean more to you than it would mean to me, because I just changed my mind back if I, felt like it.
that too.
Oh, you change your mind.
Yeah, you'd be all like, "Ooh," and I'd be like, oh, this is nice. I think I'll try it.
So it's not over.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm not looking.
There's
No, not really.
but there's still
Well,
a
you know what?
possibility.
It's been over for almost 30 years, so it's old enough. You know, it's over for me.
It sounds like she's content.
Yeah, it does
Yes.
sound she's content. But I'm just thinking about possibilities.
Oh, you want to
Well,
scratch some
anything is
skin over
possible,
there,
but
huh?
I'm not looking for anything.
All right. So how about you, Derek? How you feel about that?
About what?
Deidre's position. 30
Well-
years, no man.
Well, life's based on choice, and if you're totally content, then hey, but there's a lot to be missed. There's companionship, there's friendship, there's time to share with others. You know, there's a lot of things you could do with someone that's your mate that you like and like to spend time with. You know, I
Colin.
know I like being by myself because I like myself, but I don't always want to be by myself.
What is it you want, Derek?
Me? Oh, that's a very broad stroke question.
Like,
See-
how many hours do we have?
I don't know how much time. Nah,
Till 4
but
o'clock.
start
all
this
good.
whole relationship thing, right? For me, I look at it like this, right? For me to be in a relationship, first I need to be in a relationship with myself so I know who I am.
Right.
Then I need to get into a relationship with God, and then and only then will He prepare me to be in a relationship with another human being, because we all have issues, and I have to get rid of all that old stuff. Mad at my parents, mad at my last girlfriend, because if not, the next person I'm with is going to get fried with somebody else's fat.
I like that.
Oh, I feel like falling out of my seat right now. Put that on a shirt.
What kind of fat? Chicharron fat?
Chicharron,
Olive
chorizo.
oil. I don't know. But, you know, when you take a look at those things, for me, a relationship is about getting involved with somebody where your issues match up. You know, because we all have issues, those things that we carry from childhood, the last 10, 20 years, however the time frame is. But it's about getting involved with someone where they basically match up. Because there's certain things I do, I know that bothers people. You know, not that many, but you know, maybe one or two. But, no, just joking.
Can you share one?
Huh?
Can you share one?
Well, for starters, maybe I don't know if the listening audience knows, but I'm blind. And it's not easy being in a relationship with a blind person because there's so many things that come along with being there. For instance, how dependent I am and where do I end and you begin. Like how much help do I need and how much help do I don't need so I can maintain my independence. So just getting that balance is a little difficult.
I just want to share something, because I know Derek. I've known him for a few years, quite a number of years. I am just so blown away how independent he is. This guy can cook a Thanksgiving dinner by himself.
Well, I get hungry, I gotta eat.
When I went to his house one day, he had all 4 burners going, and just all the ingredients all over the counter.
Was there a fire extinguisher close by?
No, I didn't see one, but this guy
Don't need one.
He had it going on. Body mechanic, I was so impressed. Then, on top of that, he's an awesome cook. He cooks so well.
Well, you see, one thing a lot of people don't realize, right? I did all this before I lost my sight. Like a lot of people see what I do as a blind person, like, oh man, that blind man is so smart. Like, if I got blind on Monday and got smart on Tuesday. Right? I was blind, I was smart before I lost my sight. So all I had to do was get with some faith to continue to do all the same things that I was doing before I lost my sight. And I'm basically doing most of them except drive. And I'm working on that.
I'm pretty sure he sees more than most people that have
Yes,
sight.
that's
and I know
right.
that. I talk about
Talked
that
about that
all the
last
time.
night.
Absolutely.
We were talking about how he wished that the world were blind because we're very judgmental.
That'll help a lot in relationships if you couldn't see. Because I don't basically go with the first, like the attraction being the first piece. I have to look at the content of someone's character.
There we go. Connection.
What's in their heart. And one of the main things, I have to listen to what you're not telling me. You know, because we all could talk a good game, especially the first 6 months.
Oh, no doubt.
Especially you.
Watch it. Watch
I
yourself.
saw you in action.
Watch it.
People tell you what they want you to hear.
Yeah, but see, you have to have the wherewithal to listen to what they're saying. They usually tell you the truth, but in early relationships, it's not about what I'm hearing. It's about what I want to hear. It's not about what I'm saying. It's about what I want to see. And I got to take a look for exactly what it is. Because I can't come down 6, 7, 9 months down the road and say, hey, wait a minute. I didn't know this was the case. Wait a minute, I told you day 3. And they usually do. But we don't want to see that in early relationships because, you know, like myself, I may have not been in a relationship in a long time and I'm excited about being in one. So I overlook a lot of things.
That's right.
But then 6, 9 months down the road, now these things are starting to bother me because we're out of the honeymoon phase.
Start to see.
What do you,
Things are starting to open up. You can see the crabgrass.
what do you think about that, Ramon?
I think he's on he's got a lot of good points. I mean, you need to. I mean, when he first started off saying that he needed to know himself, he needed to have a relationship with God, he needed to get to know himself. I mean, basically, and before he could be involved with someone else. I mean, to bring someone else into your life, you do have to know yourself, and you know, he's got a lot of good points that I'm just agreeing with, definitely. And me personally, you know, I haven't been involved in a relationship in about 7 years, so it's like I'm just biding my time, getting to know me better, and writing me better. But I think it's I think they said it's about time for a little break, so.
Well, thank you for that, Ramon. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back. Give us a call. The number's on the bottom of the screen. We're talking about what women want and what men want. We'll be right back.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC. The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I am the Body Mechanic NYC.
Body Mechanic, we have got to talk about Body Shop Honors. We are one
It's next week.
It's a week from tomorrow.
And it's going to be right here.
Right here, a week from tomorrow. Get your tickets. They're only $25. We are going to be honoring about 8.
That's all? 25? I
Just
thought it was 50.
25, live music, awesome food from Main Catch.
Are there drinks?
Oh, let's talk about the food. I'm sorry.
You can bring your own brown bag.
Well, I'm bringing my own bee pollen.
Yes.
You own what?
Bee pollen.
Bee pollen?
I've been living off it for the
Oh,
last
I
8
forgot
months.
you're the nutritional guy.
Yeah,
Right,
something like that.
right. The wellness guru.
I have some of that at home.
So,
I bet you do. I can tell you about your glow.
so getting back
What
to
what do I have
I
at
just
home?
want some fermented molasses.
You got that fire extinguisher ready.
So getting back to Body Shop Honors, it's a week from tomorrow, April 27th.
I'm so stoked.
Right
And you're
here.
going to MC it, right?
No, you are.
Me?
You've been going to
Oh,
acting
no.
classes. Oh, no, you're
Yo,
on
I'll
stage.
MC.
No, my acting class is only about anger.
No,
I can't do that with
You
you.
have to. I'm tired of talking, Body Mechanic. It's your turn.
Shelly, you know how shy I am.
Come on.
That's
So,
why I have this
Shy?
cup in front of my face.
It's going to be here at Madhouse TV in Deer Park, and it's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we're honoring the owners of Madhouse TV, our engineers, Annie and Paulie, and some other great people from across Long Island.
Absolutely. I'm so excited.
And live entertainment. I'm excited.
Are you going to play the congas?
You want me to?
Yeah. Especially when you drop it like it's hot. One day I saw Chell over there. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right.
I had a moment.
All right, so anyway, while we were in the green room, we asked some of our guests to fill out a Body Shop Who Are You Really form.
This is so funny.
So I just want to share with you the results. So for,
Don't say the names. Let it be anonymous.
no.
Let the guests try
Ramon?
to figure it out.
Yeah.
Based on your feedback, why are you laughing? Don't
I'm
laugh.
sorry, that slipped.
Hope I can read the handwriting.
Yeah.
Okay, so based on your feedback, you view yourself as cuddly, soft, and familiar. People view you as serene, placid, and quiet. You view sex as vast, wet, and deep.
And what?
Yeah.
Deep?
And deep. Yes, D-E-E-P.
Oh, my goodness.
And you view death as clean, bright, and spiritual. That's interesting, right?
Death.
What do you think about that?
I'm just trying to figure out how you got to that conclusion.
Yeah, because
I'll tell you later. Deidre, you view yourself as beautiful, and you are powerful and sleek.
She is.
Suki
People
now.
view you as sunset-ish, tangerine-ish, and fall, like the season.
See,
I know, but I know,
You know what it
it's
is?
really hard
It's
because
when you fill out
you have
those,
you have to use adjectives.
like what is it about that particular thing? What gives you a certain feeling about
Right.
it?
About
So-
the sunset.
and,
Oh,
right, and based on
I mean
that,
about the
it'll be
color.
your
How it
interpretation
speaks
of
to you.
yourself.
So you view sex as warm all year round.
I hear that. Don't even have to be in Florida for
This
that.
is the one who's been without for 30 years. And perfect.
Perfect environment.
Perfect for Deidre. And I can't really interpret the last one that you chose because it's not applicable.
Oh,
So you
okay.
view death as
Wait, no, hold on. Could be.
what, like growing fins?
Yeah, like from X-Men. You know, like the blue woman with the fins.
Mermaidish? You feel
Special,
mermaidish?
yeah.
Well, when I'm
Making
in
love?
when I'm in
It's like this,
Acapulco
you know?
Bay, I feel like
I guess a woman can grow fins while she's
Yeah,
having
this
sex.
is true.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you view death as black, cold. That's enough. It's interesting.
okay.
Okay, so Denise, you view yourself as, can't relate to this. People view you as, can't relate to that either.
Oh my
You
goodness.
view sex as
You just go right to the sex.
well, because I'm just reading.
Interesting.
Tropical, clean, and that's it. And you view death as peaceful, silent, and that's it. So you have to answer these questions by using adjective, one words. Derek Van Linton,
Uh-oh.
my man who sees all. You view yourself as smooth, agile, and you take no mess. People view you as ease without worries, serene and innocent. You view sex as calming, hitting every body part, and massaging full. You view death as pure, clean, and tranquil. So isn't that interesting?
Wow.
Just wanted to share that with you.
Hitting every body part, huh?
Giving everybody flat.
So I told you, the blind man sees all.
So we want to welcome our new guest. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Darren Green.
Darren Green. What do you do for a living, Darren?
Oh, I do nothing for a living. You know, I'm like Tommy from the Martin, from the Martin Show. Tommy doesn't have a job. Currently, right now, I'm employed with Nassau County Sheriff's Department as a training instructor.
Training instructor?
Training instructor.
What do you train?
I train all new recruits to come in, for employment for the job, as well as, the other employees who are responsible for getting their yearly updates.
Okay.
So, we teach a lot of different subjects that are state mandated and some OSHA mandated.
And what's your marital status?
Right now, I am separated.
Separated.
Yes.
Happily separated?
Happily separated. Been separated for 8 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
What does that mean, happily separated?
Okay, body mechanic. Are you trying to be funny?
Did you forget who you're sitting
No,
next to?
no, I'm letting
Oh,
you forget,
sorry.
but really.
I saw a shift.
I'm not picking them up. They have to share labs.
I don't understand your question. What does happily married mean?
Happily separated.
Happily it just
Happily
means he's
separated.
happy
You mean
being
you still like her, you
separated.
just separated?
No, meaning that I've been separated for 8 years. I mean, divorce should be final any moment. But we've been,
Oh, he's
we've
happy
been
that
apart
he
for
is
7
separated.
for 8 years, I'm
Gotcha.
sorry.
Just making sure I'm clear.
Happy in his separation.
All right, so before the break, we were talking about what we want, what men want, and what women want.
Yes.
And Derek made a very good point about he feels that he has to know himself before he can be in any kind of relationship. How do you speak to that? Why don't you share her mic so we can hear you louder?
Okay, I can do that. As long as she doesn't mind sharing, right? I know we're live and we're supposed to be politically
Just
correct.
hold it in
I
your-
need to
just
get
hold
a
it in
spot
your
on that seat over there.
What I would say is that I think what he said is interesting, and again, at the ages that we are, somewhere between, I like to say, from 40 to 50, as we get a little bit older, it's amazing that that he made the statement that he needs to find himself and
Right.
find God, have a relationship with God first. Very important because, my mother taught me as a little boy that the first law of man is self-preservation. That you have to be able to take care of you before you can take care of anybody else.
That's right.
And I think that as we go along and we dive into these relationships, especially at an early age, that we get so wrapped up in wanting to take care of the other person that we forget to take care of ourselves. And for women and mothers, they often lose themselves in that relationship to the point that they sometimes don't know who they are. So it becomes very important for men to acknowledge the mere fact that, at some point in time, I do have to discover myself, and I do have to have that relationship with God first.
You brought up a very good point. You said it's important to learn this when you're young, because a lot of young couples don't see that until they get older, and that's when divorce comes.
Right.
So Colum is sitting next to you, and I just want him to speak on that because he's young, he's in a relationship, and I just admire his relationship because he seems to know what he wants, and he's very sure of himself as well as his partner. So you want to share your mic with him, or Derek, give it to Colum, the guy to your left?
is this long enough to go
Maybe Derek can share his.
Where's Colin?
Can we do that?
All right, he's good, he's good.
Colin's right next to you.
Hello?
Oh, he's got it.
I got it? This is good?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely realized that the way my relationships were working when I was much younger weren't working because I was trying to be someone that I wasn't. I was trying to impress someone.
How old are you now, Colin?
I'm 22.
22.
Yes.
How much younger?
Like, I don't know. I went through some phases pretty quickly, and I kind of learned the ropes. And I realized that it wasn't going to work if I wasn't who I truly was. So what had to come first was I had to find out who I truly was. And when someone came into my life at that point, it was just all honesty. They got the whole load. And if they stuck around, that was because they wanted to, because it was me. And it's just flourished from there because it was true. And it was honest. So there was nothing to hide, everything to be worked on, but we could do that together. Because when you're in a relationship, you actually have the opportunity to use your partner as a mirror. They could be the person that shows you who you truly are. So that's been eye-opening for me because when I look at my partner now, I realize that if I see a flaw in her, I'm really seeing a flaw in myself.
Wow.
But you know something? I think you got to be careful. You got to be careful with that, like that mirror you was talking about. Because let's say if it's in peacetime, they'll tell you about yourself, But in wartime, I don't think you're gonna like what you're ready to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to hear anything at this point. I take it all, obviously, with a grain of salt, but I'm open to change.
Stephanie, how do you feel about that? And speak loud, or get someone's mic.
I'll pass down the mic.
All right, so.
Okay.
You can just hold it.
All right. Well, yeah. I completely agree. I mean,
how old are you, by the
I'm
way?
21.
21.
Yeah. Yep. Well, yeah. I mean, sorry, I'm just like still trying to take in everything that he just said.
Describe your relationship that you have now.
But my relationship that I have now, I mean, it's. I also went through a lot of things. Younger, I'm only 21, but I have been in other relationships and they never worked out. And I think it was because I was also trying to, I couldn't really show my true self to anyone. And I've always had problems with that. And then when I finally got into a relationship, the one that I'm in now, I realized that I needed to make some changes, and my partner just helps me to find who I am. And I'm still working on it. We're both still working on it, but we help each other, balance each other, figure out what we need, and he tells me things that I need to hear when I don't really want to hear it, but I can trust him, and I know that he has my best interests in mind.
That's awesome. Denise, you want to speak to that?
Oh my goodness. I guess I'm impressed by how young these two people are sitting next to me because I have children their age. And the fact that they are in a relationship. I have two daughters approximately your age who are not in relationships, not at this time that I know of anyway. But I admire the wisdom that you have at such a young age. And it's interesting how I'm now thinking about it at my ripe old age. I've been through 2 marriages, 2 failed marriages, scores of boyfriends and relationships over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'm just at the point where I'm fed up. So I don't know. But
Wow, I'd like to speak to that.
please.
Okay. Just hearing you say that you're fed up, what is it that you're particularly fed up with?
I think just the type of people I meet, where they are in their lives, the fact that all the baggage that they're carrying, the dishonesty.
Let me ask
the
you
most
this.
part.
Is it the same person, just a change in head?
A lot of the same, yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that we all go through stuff, and we all have baggage, especially if you've been on the planet long enough.
Right.
But it takes years. This is a very rare situation to have two young people that are very, very focused.
And
Because
balanced.
it took the biomechanic 50 years to figure out what I really want to do, but I've done a lot of things, and everything that I did, I actually liked. Now, as far as young people even being in a union at a very young age, like, you know, a lot of us have children, and people talk about children 15 and 16 years old, because I talk about this a lot, being in a relationship, there's no way they can know themselves. And every person you meet is going to bring out different things in you. It's not so much a mirror, it's just a matter of stimuli, because we see the world through our conditioning and our filter. So you'll have a different experience with everyone, good, bad, or indifferent. But it takes years to find out who you are, because you haven't been exposed to enough different things. So
I agree with that. I think that listening to the two younger people here in the audience, if I can just say, you know, one thing that I think that sometimes, for me, sometimes when we keep running into the same conditions and the same people, this young man spoke about the mirror process, is that sometimes you have to ask yourself, why is it that you keep attracting the same type of person?
Yes, why?
And I tell you what, sometimes we have to take a look at ourselves, because it may be something that you're doing that may be attracting these same individuals. So I think that becomes a key thing. Sometimes we got to take a step back
Very true.
and look at ourselves first and reanalyze and reassess ourselves. And to the two young people here, I can tell you this. I got married at 23. I married my high school sweetheart. What I would say to you is that, and I agree with you, body mechanic, you have to take some time to allow yourselves to experience other people. Even though you fall in love and you're in love now, I think at 21, 22, 23, I also have a daughter that's 22. You have to allow yourself to have those experiences that you spoke about in Canada, because everybody's going to bring out. And when you really find the experience that is great and dynamic for you, those are the ones that are deep down inside that are hidden, to the ones that you really want. But what happens is when you don't get the right person to pull it out, you find yourself stuck. And later on in life, you start saying, wow, how did I end up here? Because you didn't make the right choice, because of the moment you didn't allow yourself the time to experience those other people. So I agree.
But is it possible that these two young people
Give it the mic.
can grow and develop together? And I mean, my parents were married for 60 years. What happened to that generation? What happened to that? That aura?
That's
'Cause
a different
doesn't.
time.
It's a different time. It doesn't really exist so much today, as I know it.
I hear a lot of people say that, and I'll share something with you. What I find with a lot of people that have been together a long, long time, a lot of times they just
Settle.
They settle. Yes. And I'm telling you, because I work very intimately with a lot of people, and most of them are not happy. Right. They settle. So I think that at every stage of life, we have a developmental stage. In our teens, when we get to our 20s, but it's in your 20s that you somewhat find yourself and find out what turns you on, what you like, what you don't like. And when you have someone right by your side, it's very different, because now you have to share half of another brain. You have to make sure that person's okay. You have to make sure that they agree, that it works for them. So you're not really fully who you are. And as you go through, when the times get lull and they're quiet, you start thinking about, what if I did this, or what if I did that? Because the possibilities are limitless. So I think that we all have that incubation stage as we go through.
It also depends on your level of maturity. You know.
But even that's relative. What is maturity?
You know what I think? I think sometimes in relationships,
question.
you just got to get a certain amount of things. You got, like we was talking about getting things done. The gentleman here was saying with other people. I just think you got to just experience some things in life. So, like as a single person, it's a different life than when you're in a relationship. Like as a single person, I can get up and go hang out for 3 days, and nobody can say anything. But in a relationship, it's unacceptable. But the point I'm making is, there's certain things I feel that you just got to get out of your system. You have to have done it enough to where you don't necessarily need to do it anymore.
Is it get out of your system, or is it just living?
Well, it's a little bit of both. Because as you live, like hanging out when I'm 20 and hanging out like today when I'm in my 50s, is two different hangouts. Hanging out in my 20s, it can start Friday and then Sunday, right? Hanging out in my 50s, it's dinner in a theater. In my 20s, it could be 3, 4, 5 different parties.
Deidre and Ramon, how do you feel about that?
Basically, when you are young, you can, young and single, you can do what you want in a lot of ways. I mean, you are able to, be free and learn yourself and grow to learn yourself. But when you're older and involved in a relationship, you're growing to learn your partner and how you are with your partner. So it's a lot different.
And depending upon the chemistry between the two people, if one is more domineering, then that one that is not really suffers.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, not so much suffers, but I'm telling you, it's very much. It's like you have a nest and the mother has 2 little chicks, and only the strong survive. And when you have 2 people that are not balanced, what you're going to have is this.
I agree. And Chella, you guys are aware of what I do on Tuesday nights.
Well, our viewers aren't.
Okay, on Tuesday nights, I have the pleasure of saying that I'm one of the creators of a weekly forum that we host called Emotions, and it's about love, sex, and relationships. And the focus, why we created and why I created it, was that I often say is that how is it that we ever expect our children to be right when mommy and daddy are not right? And at this stage, we need to discuss who we are. And even at the ages when we are, sometimes in our 40s and 50s, we haven't discovered who we are. We still find ourselves stuck. And that's because I've gotten wrapped up in this relationship. I've settled, as you said. And I don't know who I am. So I had a topic one week that says, do you know your purpose? And do you know, just based on what you said, there are so many people who still don't know their purpose. And they're not working at it or toward it. And that puts you in a position where at late 40s and 50s, if you are now going through a breakup or divorce, it's almost like saying that I want my life back. I've lost something. And then we find ourselves trying to get back on this trail, and it can be very difficult. It can be very difficult.
Deidre, you want to say something?
Well, basically, I have heard of a culture where they say that you have a second spring. And that's basically what I'm doing. I just, I think I've given a lot of myself and time to other people, and I'm going to just do me. And I think that that's just fine, giving myself permission to do that. And you can have a relationship when you're young or when you're old and still go through the same kind of turmoil at any stage.
You want to say something, Roy?
I tell you, it's like walking through a garden. There's only one kind of flower in it. I mean, life is so many different things, and when you're young and you don't develop yourself, you really see half of the world. Sometimes just a small percentage. I mean, freedom is what it's all about. And like they call me the caveman. Chella always calls me the caveman, but I tell you, it goes back to nature. Just look at nature. Nature tells us how to live.
We also have a habit of just seeing relationships in the context in which we are legally allowed to have them here in the United States. And all over the world, people have all different sorts of family and relationship structures. One of my writing teachers gave me a book to look at called Leaving Mother Lake. And in this culture, and somewhere in Tibet, the men sort of raise horses and yaks, and they have their thing going. But they're allowed to have relationships with anybody they want to, and all the kids are taken care of, all the women, they make sure they have a house to raise the children in, nobody's looked down on, everybody's secure and pretty much happy. At least they were until we started messing with them.
Marriage here is a business.
Yeah.
It's an institution, it's serious.
Marriage here is a lot of different things. You know what I come to learn about marriage, right? You could take a year to 2 years to plan the wedding, which is one day. But people don't sit down and plan the marriage, which should be the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. Right. Good point.
And it's like, I remember when I got married, and pastor came by the house, and he was asking us questions. Like, he said, "Are you going to have sex?" I'm like, huh? You know, and just the questions he was asking, I thought was different or indifferent. But when I look back in retrospect, it made sense because you need to know how you're going to move forward. Now, things are always subject to change. But if I don't have a foundation in which I'm going to build that change on, then sometimes in a marriage, even in a relationship, you just don't know where to go. And it's like, I find myself flying by the seat of my pants.
I'm about to explode over here. You know what's so funny? We sit here, and like I said, I was talking about this in the green room. I said, you know what? We are always trying to define things. You can't live if you're trying to define something you're not present. How about meeting someone that is open, that doesn't make a difference? Because there's no way you can take and predict how things will be. Because I'll tell you, when you mix things together, they never come out the way you want them to.
I like where this is going, and we're going to take a break right now. Give us a call. Our number's on the bottom of the screen. We're talking about what women want, what men want.
And what men want too.
Bring it at the
what
body
all of us
shop.
need.
We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I am the Body Mechanic NYC.
This is getting very interesting, Body Mechanic.
Why? Because Hearing about what men really want?
Yes, this is getting very interesting. I want you to join us. Give us a call at 631-699-7999. The number again is 631-699-7999. So before we went to break, we were talking about marriage. You were talking about, that was an awesome point that you made, Derek, how people spend 2 years to plan a wedding, but not that much time invested in planning a marriage to last a lifetime. Very good point.
Yeah, you know, time developing themselves.
And I can, if I could speak to that, what I thought about was that, you know, in my successes in my marriage and then in the failures in my marriage. So one of the things that we never talked about was after we got married, we never talked about our life goals. We never talked about what we were going to do in 5 years, what we were going to do in 10. We just got up in the morning, we went to work, you know, we came home, we had sex, we got pregnant, we had a baby. And through those times of doing the daily things, we never sat down and discussed the plan for the future. We never planned.
Because your routine fell into a rut.
You know what happens is because, and again, it's also like learned behavior. When you don't see that growing up, you don't see the planning stages from within your household, then you don't do that. Mm-hmm. And I think that for me, I know I can look back and say that I think the advice that I try to give is that I think what Derek's spirit is really on point, is that we need to take time to plan. Young people, please, you know, take the time to plan your future events, what you want to do, what are you looking forward to, because the saying that, oh, we just grew apart. Mm-hmm. Well, you grow apart because you never had a plan, you know?
We got a phone call. Hold on. Welcome to Body Shop TV.
Yeah, hi. I'm listening to your show about relationships.
Yes. Do you have a question?
Yeah, you know, listen, first of all, I mean, it's a great show. I have no problem with the show. Show's good. But, you know, I think people need to chill out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
People or our guests?
I'm sorry?
People or our guests?
No. People in general, you know, because, you know, women and men, you know, if they're going to get together, you know, it's got to be a happy medium. You know, I've seen so many relationships where women come into the relationship, and half of them are still back in the 60s with the issues that you got to open the door, and the other half of them aren't in the 60s where they don't really care, you know, care if you open the door or not. Am I right?
Yeah. No, I just take the door. I just take the door off. That way you don't have to go through it.
Unfortunately, you are right.
No, seriously, you know, so this becomes a problem. You know, I mean, I'm married. I'm actually married to somebody who understands her place in the relationship.
Excuse me, can you say that one more time, please? Knows her what?
She understands her place in the relationship.
Wow.
What's her place in the relationship?
Well, you know.
That's what I'm talking about. You see, you're taking that totally out of perspective.
No, I have a question. What's your place?
I'm sorry?
What's your place?
My place is equal to her place.
Oh!
Her place. But this is my point. See, you just proved my point. You thought something different than what I was actually going to say, because logically, that's what people do today.
Well, it was your delivery.
Right. It was your tone.
Mr. Place.
It was your tone.
But this is the tone my mother gave me.
Okay.
Perception.
You're a funny guy.
Right?
Perception is our reality.
Yes.
Well, no, sometimes people perceive things to be different than what the reality is.
This is true.
Even that's subjective.
So you have a problem with that.
Well,
I have a very unique relationship. My wife doesn't work. So she is at home all day long. She will do whatever it takes to keep the house clean, to do what she's got to do. She takes care of the animals. She does the food shopping. She goes out and she gets certain things that are needed during the day. And then I'm working 9 to 5. Is there a problem with that?
I thought you said she doesn't work.
She doesn't. You see, you're a smart guy.
Yes, I am.
She does work in her own capacity, in her own little, you know, what she does. Yeah, it is work. All right,
thank you.
I do what I do. She does what she does. So when I come home, she doesn't expect me to cook dinner. She has dinner waiting. Is that wrong?
Wow, it sounds like she has a lot more jobs than you do.
No, I don't think so. Let me ask you a question. Should she not dinner waiting when I come home from work?
I think she should. I think. And
I don't know.
but
After the horses and plowing and dissing
wait a
land,
minute.
I think maybe you should help her with the dinner.
All right. Well, we appreciate your input, and maybe you can call back later because we have other callers calling in. This is a hot topic, and I just hope that your wife is happy in her role, in her place, as you are.
She is. I give her an allowance.
Please call back. I gotta get to the call. Please call back. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Place.
Wow.
That was awesome. But you know what? Interesting.
Wait, let me see if I have another call. No, they'll call back.
When I was in the military, that's just how a lot of men talk.
Wow.
And this is how a lot of
give her an
young women,
allowance?
a lot of women are raised that way, to think that way also.
I hope he calls
We're going to
back.
share this microphone over here. And we were having a side conversation.
I saw
She
that. I
strongly,
felt the heat from the seat.
She strongly disagreed with the dinner part. She was like, really, like,
exactly.
Yeah, she felt a little strange about that. But I can say, based on what he said, the caller said him. See, society about the door. Some women want the door to be open. Some women in the 60s. Society plays a heavy role in what we do in our relationships.
And
Society,
culture.
yes,
But it
societal standards, can really dictate a relationship.
But it shouldn't.
It shouldn't, but we conform.
It
to
depends
those.
on the players because we choose to participate in that.
Yes, we do.
Right.
And, but, it's all about, the likes and the dislikes, and it's all about sometimes within society and relationships about being accepted. And sometimes I'm looking for that place to be accepted. And so when society doesn't accept me for who I am, then what do I do? Based on the planning of the marriage. What if I don't want to plan a marriage for a year? What if I just want to get married and not jump over the broom? What if I don't want to get married in a Catholic church or a Baptist church? What if I just want to get, but society
tells you everything.
Right, and I have to live to that standard.
I disagree with that part. You talking about being accepted by society. The heck with society. I got to accept myself.
But that's what he's saying.
Oh, I thought he said...
He's agreeing with you, man.
Wait a minute. I thought he said acceptance by society.
No.
I want to hear from Colin. I want to hear from the
my
young
bad.
people.
I apologize.
What do you?
How do you feel about that? Society dictating should you be married or not,
Oh.
and other things.
I think that's such a hindrance on personal growth. Like, if you're looking outside yourself for acceptance in general, that you're never really going to find yourself because you're looking externally when you really should be looking internally.
You're walking down that path.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
path has been live for you.
Mhm.
Yeah. I want to make a very interesting point. Americans watch TV. A lot of Europeans come here, they don't own TVs. They learn to communicate with each other. We have so many distractions. How can we know each other when we're always distracted? Right. Chella and I remember when we first started hanging out together, then we went to that restaurant
In Babylon?
in Babylon. We were up in the top looking down on the floor.
Monsoon.
Monsoon. 80% of the people were on phones while they were talking to each other.
Yep.
Right.
Or texting.
Together.
Together,
Dining.
like this.
On the phone.
Or texting.
Right.
I had a big issue about phones. I go to take my daughter to an event. It was a party and ice skating. And one of her friends, because I did not like the fact that my daughter's mother got her phone at 11 years of age. It was really interesting because on the floor while the kids were playing, there was one young girl who was 10 or 11, her friend, had her cell phone, and she spent the whole time showing everybody photographs when they should have been interacting with each other. And this is what's happening. We are distracted as a society. A lot of Europeans, you go abroad, they don't even have televisions in their home, and we are taught by the TV, we're taught by the media, so we don't have any concrete anything, and we don't know each other.
Do you have a television at home?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you didn't.
Yeah, I have one. We have one in the living room. I don't like them all up in the bedrooms and things like that, but I do
Someone
like it in the
told me
living room.
recently I don't have a television. I can't remember who it was.
Maybe
I,
I told you sometime I take long TV breaks where I won't watch TV.
Okay, hold on.
And Sean and I, we used to go to Hibachi's and watch a family of 5 all on their electronic. Why go out to dinner together?
Hold on. Welcome to Body Shop. Welcome to Body Shop TV.
Yeah, I would like to contribute to the program. I've been calling.
Okay. We've been busy and busy. Who's calling and where are you calling from?
My name is Bright. I'm calling from Boston in Massachusetts.
Oh, welcome to Body Shop TV. We're talking about what women want and what men want in relationships.
I just want to say something about what men want.
Okay, we're listening.
Okay. In every relationship, men want honesty from their counterpart, that is their female counterpart, the woman, especially not to cheat on them. In as much as honesty goes, it's both sides, and cheating also is on both sides.
So you're saying that men want honesty and no cheating?
No cheating, and women also don't want no cheating.
Let me ask you a question. Do you open the door for a woman?
Come again?
Do you open the door for a woman?
I can't hear you properly.
Ask him if he helps him with a coat.
Do you open the door for a lady?
Do I open my door for Lily?
No, like if you're going into a building, do you open? Oh, do you have a computer on?
No, my computer is off right now.
No. Okay, so if you're going into a building with a lady, say your lady friend, do you open the door for her?
Do I do what for her?
Do you open the door for her?
Yes, but I open my door for you, and that doesn't go to the fact that I should be cheating. And I have some questions to ask you.
He said he'll open the
Not
door
you,
for you.
but I'm talking about women in general.
All right, I understand that, but we were talking earlier about men opening the door. Like, so I'm gonna give you an example. A lady is getting into her car. Would you open the door for her, or would you let her open the door?
Exactly. Very good. Women like that. And when women also, now you are turning my attention from men to women. When women dress up and you are with them, say, oh, my dear, you look beautiful. How gorgeous you are. And when you say that to your partner as a woman, she becomes very happy.
Yes.
Hello, my dear. Can I cook? Can I make a breakfast for you this morning? Oh, no, I don't want to eat anything. Oh, please, take it from me. Then it's okay. Yes, I will eat it. Then as a man, then I will do for her.
Okay, well, we thank you for your phone call and answering the question what men want.
Thank you so much. I hope I like that program so much. Any time that you are on this almost the same program, I am prepared to contribute.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling Body Shop TV.
And I thank you, and I thank all the hosts and the program managers and everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day.
Okay, bye.
Make sure you make that
Bye-bye.
breakfast.
Bye-bye. Did you understand what he was saying?
Yes,
He has a-
everything. He has an African accent.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Thick one.
Very
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's you. That person sounds familiar.
So a body shop mechanic in Cella.
Yes.
I mean, I know I was part of the last person on the show, but have we identified with the four men that are here? Have we identified? Have they
Yeah, we
all
did a
spoken
roll call.
to
You wanna
what?
do it again?
No, I'm saying, have they spoken to exactly what they want individually?
Pretty
Not
much.
really.
Oh,
Not really.
Not really?
Oh.
Bring it, Ramon.
You know, I mean, and the ladies, I
We
I
did.
know-
We went around the room.
Okay.
I thought
Yeah,
they answered.
But
No, you weren't warmed up,
I
right?
wasn't.
Okay, you warm now? All right, go ahead. Bring it, Ramon.
like, truthfully, I've seen my parents. Okay, my parents have been married, going on 47 years, and some of the values that they instill within me, I'm looking for in my future mate. I'm looking for a woman who's loyal. Looking for a woman who is communicative. I'm looking for a woman who is ambitious and is supportive.
Ladies, take note. Ramon is looking for those things.
But I'm assuming you're the same way, right?
I'm a lot of those those qualities right now. But I'm also looking for a very spiritual woman. She must be, you know, have God in her mind, in her life, in her heart. And, you know, I'm looking for someone who's also educated. So, you know, those are the things that I am right now. And I've looked at how my parents got together. My parents met at the age of 13. They got married at the age of 18. But they as you said, they made plans. They made plans about, we're going to have a family. We're going to have our life together. We're going to retire together. And they have retired. They retired at the age, my father retired at the age of 54. And my mother retired at 56. So she worked 2 years after, 3 years after my father retired.
Right.
Because she's a year younger than my father. So, and my father had a good income, and he has a pension plan, and he gives my mother money because she didn't have a pension plan from her job, and yet and still the kids also send money to my mother to make sure she has a little extra.
Right.
And they work on their finances together. They work on everything together. I mean, my mother's health is not as good as she was years ago, because she's in her mid-60s, and she's, you know, she had 5 children. Right. And having 5 children, you know, different things can happen to your body. And
especially big, strong children.
Yes, big, strong children. Different things can happen to your body, and so her health is not all the way it should be. So, you know, they work on that. They work on exercising. They work on all the things they need to do to maintain themselves into a ripe old age. Now, me, I've learned a lot of things over the years about relationships, and I've never been married. I've been engaged twice, only once that my parents knew about.
They know now.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're in the green
So
room.
why was us?
Keep it a secret.
The second one.
She asked you a question.
Huh?
How did you keep it a secret?
Because
No, the
my
question
parents,
is why.
How? How did I keep it a secret?
How and why?
I didn't necessarily purposely keep it a secret. I just didn't inform anybody.
Must have been special.
But it wasn't that special in the fact that even though she and I were engaged, we broke up like 6 months after we got engaged because we got engaged too quickly. And I knew that we were going too fast.
Okay, but if you have a lady in your life, did you not see your parents during that
She didn't want to meet my
time?
parents yet. She was afraid to meet my parents. She was afraid to meet my
That's already an
parents.
issue, so okay.
Yeah, that's why I said I knew it wasn't going to last. I knew it wasn't going to last.
Ramon, how old are you, may I ask you?
I'm 45.
45.
I'm 45. And I've never been married. I do have a child who will be 14 on the 28th of this month. And my involvement with his mother, she didn't want to get married at all. She still doesn't want to get married. She's in her early 30s. And as you can see, I was dealing with a young woman at the time. I was
And he's still smiling.
Good thing that wasn't my daughter.
well,
It's okay, I like young men.
I've dealt with older women. I've dealt with younger women.
Throw down.
I don't discriminate when it comes to the different type of women that I deal with.
That's going to be another show.
Yeah.
Well, I ask that because you're taking somebody in your life that's I thought would be a big part of your life if you were engaged or had a strong relationship with. I would also think you would have a strong relationship with your family and your parents, and I guess it confuses me how
the reason
none of that ever intermingled or with a holiday or an event.
Well, the funny thing is, even though I'm close with my parents and my brothers and sisters and all my family, there are sometimes this young lady who I was engaged to, the second young lady I was engaged to.
Yeah.
I was still learning her, and yet and still I said I loved her and I wanted to to get married to her, and we were starting to make plans for getting married. But there were things I was seeing that I didn't like.
So why'd y'all get engaged?
It was a quick thing. I was young at the time when I did get engaged to her, and I wasn't as wise as I am now about relationships, and that was over 10 years ago. That was well over 10 years.
So you grew up.
So you learned
I grew up.
something, which is good.
I grew up a lot.
Okay.
My first engagement, I was engaged for 2 years, and we were dating for the first year. Then we were engaged for 2 years, and then other people got involved in our relationship, and threw monkey wrenches in. We were young. I was 20 when I got engaged.
20?
Yeah, when I was 20 when I got engaged, and other people threw a monkey wrench into our arrangement because I wanted to wait until we were at least 24, 25.
Well, even as adults, I mean, as we get older, the monkey wrenches never stop coming.
That's true.
But
at a young age, it's harder to deal with
it's painful.
those monkey wrenches than
Knocks you off your game.
And it surely does. I mean, someone came to me while I was engaged to that young lady, and they said to me, you shouldn't have a long engagement. I said, why? He said, because it doesn't last. I said, what are you talking about? He says, a long engagement doesn't last. And then another one came up to me and said, you really should just go marry this girl now. And I'm like, but we're not ready. We're not financially ready yet. We're not in the right places in our life.
But you had some reservations already, right?
No, I wanted to marry her. She's still, to this day, the love of my life. The love that I cherish the most out of any woman that I ever have met.
She's the one that got away?
She's the one that got away.
Is she away? Where is she? Want to call her up?
She's married to someone else.
Call her right
I
now.
think that also
she's
brings
married
up
to
an
somebody else
interesting
right
point
now.
that he touched on. How long does an engagement supposed to be, and how long is a marriage supposed to be for?
I think a marriage is supposed to be for life. I don't believe in
So
divorce.
I used to think. But how long do you think an engagement is
Well,
supposed to be for?
it depends on your situation and your timing. Like in a young people's situation, like in my situation when I was young, I felt that I was 20 when I got engaged to her.
Still in college?
I didn't even go to college at that point. I didn't go to college until 3 years ago. I got my
Too late.
It's never too late, and I'm actually getting ready to finish up my bachelor's degree very soon.
This is so interesting.
It is, and we got to take a break
We gotta
right
take a
now.
break, yeah.
But when we come back, I'm really interested in hearing from the young people because all I'm hearing is don't get married, don't do this, you're too young. And these two young people are so stable and so grounded. I want to hear from them when we come back.
Leave
Our
the
number
number.
to give us a call is 631-699-7999. That number again is 631-699-7999. We'll be right back.
It's getting hot up here. Let me tell
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Is that over the salad?
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
I am the crazy body mechanic NYC.
It's getting hot in here.
I know what I like.
What do you like?
Everything.
I know you're keeping it very general today, Body Mechanic. I
No.
see you're not stepping in the fire.
I am very specific about everything.
You're right.
I
Very
am-
general about everything.
You know what? I think it's a very simple equation. Once you realize how much you don't know about life, there's no way you can settle for anything. You continue to evolve as a person. I like to meet people that are open, and those are the people I like to be around. What I find is a lot of people that I meet in my journey are stuck, and they like it because they don't know what's on the other side, because they've never tried it. And when your mind is
Closed,
your world is
shut,
Tunnel vision.
narrow,
And
limited.
Chella, you and I talk about this all the time, talking about stimulation. A lot of people, you know, they go to work, they eat lunch, they're rushing for 30 minutes, they get back to their seat, they work some more, and they leave, they hop in their car, they drive home, they go home, they have chores at home, then they go to sleep, then they wake up next morning and go back to work. And that's it.
Yeah.
Do that for 30, 40 years.
Continuum
You know what I call that?
Right.
Boring.
Death. That's death. That's waiting for the man to catch it. And you know what? And most of them, they know it all. I gotta figure it out. Then they meet people that are doing all these things. They're diving. They're
Yeah.
swimming, they're traveling. They're like, you know,
Like I retired when I was 55. And they said, Chella, how'd you do that? And
Word.
I said, I just did it because I wanted to. You know, when there's a will, there's a way. If there's something that you want to do, you make it happen by whatever means necessary.
Law of attraction.
I agree. But you know what's happening? You know what's funny is that I'm not sure if you're born with it or it's something you acquire, you learn along the way. It's like I was very open as a child, and there's a lot of things that I saw on television and even in my surroundings. It always felt like it was things that were designed to get me to think a certain way. And I always fought those things because I knew there was another side. And I'm still that way. And even now in my 50s, I realize how much I don't know, and I continue to grow and evolve. When you're not open to the universe, and now you want to take on a partner too on top of it, and you want to make plans not knowing anything, that's why 80% of the marriages don't work.
That's
Because
right.
no one knows. And they think they know everything. I like meeting people like that. Oh, yeah, I have the answer. I go, okay.
So I wanted to address the question to our young people, Colin and Stephanie. You've been hearing things like, you know, you're too young, don't do this, marriages don't last. What's your response to that?
Well, there's very true statements and everything. Like you were saying, like people get stuck. And me and my partner have realized that. And she is sometimes hesitant to go out into the world and like experience things even without me. So I realized that in her, and I encourage her to do those things, because sometimes she may fall back on me and say like, no, if like you don't want me to do that, it's okay. It's like no, you need to go out there. Like there's so much to see. Like it's not just here.
So you push her.
Yes, definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I think is a partner should do, is
Mhm.
just push you to do what he knows or he or she knows what you want to do deep down, but are just a little hesitant to take the first step. So I'm there to give her that push.
That's
A
awesome.
keeper.
Right? Stephanie, how do you respond to that?
So yeah, I definitely think that I sometimes need someone to push me, and that's what I have in my partner. And Yeah, we both are still very young, so I'm not, personally, I think that we still have a long way to go. And we say to each other all the time, it's not like we know what's going to happen in the future. Like, this could just be a relationship that we're having now that'll be a lesson, and then, maybe it won't work out in the end. But if we really think that we work well together, we can make it work that way, I agree with everyone with, don't get married too young, because I don't think that I'm ready. I still have so many things that I want to experience and I want to do and I want to grow as a person.
Do you want to get married?
Yeah. Yeah, one day. Definitely.
Do you want to get married, Colin?
Yeah. Uh-oh. So do I. Shoot.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah,
How about you? How about you, Mr. Close Encounters?
I'm going to say this because Body Mechanic said this, because he said marriage is an institution. And the institution of marriage, they say, is sacred. And I do believe in marriage is a good thing when you make the right choice and you have a good partner, a partner that you chose that is for you, whatever it is that you are looking for. I think it's good, and I don't have a problem. I would love to be married again, because I think that I would be such a dynamic husband now, much better than I was through the experiences that I had. And that's the growth that I know that I have within myself. When we look back and you learn from your mistakes, I think ultimately the most important thing is, and I hear the two young people on the panel speaking, and I don't hear enthusiasm and happiness, although they're saying good things. I really want to know if they're happy, because when you're in love and you're with somebody, you're happy. You're kind of like that giddy love, I mean, I'm 46, and I like to think, I'm in love. I'm giddy, I'm like a little kid again.
But that doesn't mean that they're not happy like that.
No, it
People
doesn't.
express it differently in different ways. Maybe they're just calmer than you.
And I got to tell you, these two are very unique individuals. When
They
I
are.
first
We
met
spend
them,
time with them. They're awesome.
When I first met them, I was like, damn, these are some two mature young folk, and their spirit is very calming. They got their SHIT together, trust.
Oh, listening to this young man speak, I was almost going to ask him, like, where did he was speaking about, pushing his partner and pushing her out there, and at 22, to hear him speak that way, he definitely, has some wisdom, behind him. So, and not to take anything away from this young lady as well. I just think, for all of us, about wanting what we want, make blanket statements about what it is that men want. I'll make a blanket statement. What do men really want? What do women really want? So I'm going to play with this young lady.
He likes doing that.
What do women want? If I can do that, as long as I can do that.
That move to
Florida.
She said she's divorced twice. So what do you want?
That move to Florida might be changing.
She likes nice shoes.
I do like nice shoes.
Let me see.
We want a lot of things. I'm still not done growing. I'm not sure what I really want.
Who's ever done
ultimately.
growing? You never done
I
growing
want
till you
to be.
die.
I want to be loved. I want to be cherished. I want somebody special. I want to. It's a give and take. And I think when this young gentleman over here mentioned how he could give his partner a little push and explore, I love that. I would like somebody to do that with me, and in return, and not have that jealousy come into play, because I think that's what happens. You're with somebody, and I don't want you to go doing that. Something could happen. You may,
That's
you
a
may
projection, and that's living out of the moment.
And I think, because we just carry so much baggage at this point in time and in my age bracket, because we've
But
had
you
all
don't
these
have to.
crazy experiences.
But you don't have
I
to.
think that filters into it. But ultimately, I think women do want to be cherished. I think we all want to be loved, men and women.
I was going to say that too. I think there really is no different. I think we all want the same things.
Basically.
Yeah.
I just want a massage. That's all I want. This
I want
massage
one too.
And again, I agree with you. What you said. You said that you want to be cherished, you want to be loved. Often, I have a young lady that hosts with me on Tuesday nights. Kim, if you're listening, if you're out there, and this is her. One of the statements is that going into a relationship, you have to be the very thing that you desire.
Correct.
Because if you don't, how do you say, as an example, I want to be loved, but you don't represent love?
You don't love yourself.
Right. So, but you want that, but you don't represent that. So I think sometimes, again, looking back in the mirror is that we have to be the representation of what it is that we want in ourselves first for that to be attracted into our lives.
Water seeks its own level.
Right. And men, men do want the same thing. Men want to be respected at the end of the day. They want to be respected, because by nature
What is respect?
It's something that you've earned based on the work that you've done and the work that you're doing. And when you look at it, and I remember in John Gray's book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, is that he said he watched his mother and father grow up, and that his mother didn't work and his father did, and she took care of everything. Had the slippers at the door, the dinner was waiting on the table, and he said by nature, men are bred to work. So that's all we know is we know work, and at the end of the day when I come home, I want that respect. I want that woman to have my dinner cooked. I want my shoes to be at the, and
do you walk through the door with some shoes for her?
See, and again, because, if we go back to your statement, pre-60s, we're kind of stuck in between the model of pre-60s, 50s, and now trying to adopt, and how the times have changed. And there is no book.
Today the woman's working also.
Right.
So when we come home, who's going to bring us the slippers and the dinner on the table?
The kids. But Denise, you know what? Women have always worked. Because it won't work unless everyone is
inside the house or outside the house.
The words that we're using respect. You know what it is? It's all love. That's what it is. It goes both ways. And that thing of having that person waiting at the door for you, that's
listen, right, but this is what John Gray had written in his book.
I don't know who John is, but I'd like to meet him.
If you ever read the book years ago, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, is a book that he wrote. And I could say now that I would say this, is that I want to run her bathwater. I want to cook her dinner. I want to be home. I don't want to be out with too many activities. I want to be the same special person that I want to be, that I want her to be for me, I want to be for her.
Quality time.
Quality
nurturing.
time. Because what happens if once you found that right person that matches you equally and is able to do and experience those things that you talk about and be adventurous and all the things that you want to be, guess what? I want to do it with you. I want to build with you. I want to grow with you. I want to be consistent with you. And I think inconsistency poses a big problem. So men do want the same thing as women, but we have to be able to express it and define it so that there's no confusion about it.
No, I take off the mask and express it. Because, it all depends, as a man, how you're groomed. Like myself, I had to, unlearn and relearn because I grew up on the street. And on the street, it's about having a ferocious exterior. It's a lot of stuff that's just not really applicable in a relationship because you don't let nobody see your feelings. So that kills all intimacy, right? You don't let them know what you're thinking. So right now, she has to be a mind reader. So there's so many different facets in how you were groomed and what you're willing to learn and become to be in that relationship. Because just because you don't know, that doesn't mean you shouldn't, put this way, not knowing is no excuse for not getting.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't grow up with a father, but that don't mean I should not do what it takes to learn how to raise my son.
It's a balance, and it's a balance in most men when they fall in those parameters. They can use that as a crutch and an excuse to say that nobody taught me, so I'm not going to teach mine. And this is the way I learned, so this is what I'm going to do. Rather than take an opportunity to learn and be better, as what you just said, is not use that as an excuse. It's very far and few in between that people would do that. So you said something that was really deep, and that's take off the mask. Because we hide behind those things, and again, because society makes us wear that mask, and then when it's time to be transparent,
we don't know how.
We don't. And this is what the relationships fail based on the lack of communication. Because when I feel vulnerable or too vulnerable, then I think that I'm weak. Mm-hmm. And the last thing that I want you to be is weak, because women don't like to see. Again, this is a blanket statement. In general, women would not like to see a man that they perceive as being weak.
And that's your opinion?
And
because you got to be vulnerable at some point.
So we put on this mask of toughness,
right?
And we don't know when to take it off,
right?
So I got to leave it on all the time. So that's the balancing act that we got to come to. But when you really find somebody special, when you get to that point, you should be able to peel that mask off and cry and be the soft, reveal your emotions.
Intimacy.
Be intimate. And when it's time, if you feel like you need to put that mask back on or put the cape back on.
No, I don't agree with that. Because once you start the thing with intimacy, and listen to me very, very carefully, intimacy should not be confused with sex. Because they are definitely not two of the same thing.
I agree. I agree.
Intimacy is just like it says, into me, see. You know what I mean? So when you start the process of intimacy, it's about letting the person know what's going on inside.
I agree.
And when we come off the street, you know, that ain't what's happening. You know, it's like, I heard somebody say once, like a lot of times you give a person a hug. Going up on the street, only time you hug the person was when somebody was, you know, doing this thing we did on the street, when somebody was getting robbed or something. So there was no such thing as like, come in, let me get a hug, because hugs heal.
I think what he's saying, that type of intimacy actually takes the most strength. So if you're trying to be strong, it's about being courageous enough to step out there and show who you truly are and leave yourself open. In my experience, that's been it's taken the most strength out of me to actually do that.
Yeah, it makes
and
sense.
Put myself out there, because you are the most vulnerable, and you're putting your chest, like you're leaving your heart open.
That's right.
Yeah, to get.
Yeah, I agree with you, Darren.
About intimacy. Are you afraid to reveal your emotions?
Oh no, I'm a sap. So like, I really am really emotional.
You're a what?
I'm a sap. Like I.
Sap?
I think it's easier for women to reveal
I'm
their
very
emotions.
emotional.
S-A-P-like?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, that must be some
Like saucy, sappy, like
that must be
like
that must be some 2014 stuff.
That's right.
I'm not hip.
Yeah, you got to
Is that
fast
something
forward.
we're taught, that women, it's easier to reveal our emotions than a man is? Is it, if a man reveals his emotions, is that considered a form of weakness?
Right,
No.
because that's how a lot of them are raised.
Just like the guy
A
you
lot
said.
of men are raised that way.
Yes.
Correct.
Boys don't cry.
That's right.
Look it up.
We're going to take a break right now. Give us a call at 631-699-7999. That number again is 631-699. What? No wonder we haven't gotten any phone calls.
Exactly.
OMG.
Operational error.
631-669-7999. We'll be right back.
Yes, we will.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! I don't. Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power! Old Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power!
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell
We sell AMSAC. The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's Best, Locksmith and Hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
YesWeCare.net is a 501c3 charity that provides help to veterans and their families. Please visit YesWeCare.net and donate in any way you can by purchasing our beautiful framed prints or relaxation CDs and DVDs, even smooth jazz CDs. YesWeCare.net. Remember, our troops are on their way home. They need all the support they can get. YesWeCare.net.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no-obligation price quote, or call 631-758-3505 for a brochure. You'll be happy.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Brooklyn's Best Locksmith and Hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC. The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's Best, Locksmith and Hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I'm the Shy Body Mechanic NYC.
Where did we leave off, Body Mechanic?
I don't know, but I'm a little discombobulated here.
Why are you so
thing of how-
confused?
what men want, what women want. I think we all just want the same thing.
You do? And give me one word.
Love.
Aww.
Lots of it. All the time. From everyone.
The phone call.
From everything. I want this cup to love me.
Yes.
Love me, cup.
Hold on. Welcome to Body Shop TV.
Hi, how are you? I'm watching the show, and I'm wondering what you guys think about relationships where there's a large difference in age.
I think it's beautiful. Bring it.
Like how large of a difference?
17 years.
Oh, it's perfect.
Very healthy. I love young men.
That's like a teacher and a student.
Yeah, they bad, I tell you.
Are you in a relationship with the age difference like that?
Yes.
And how's it working out for you?
It's been wonderful. Not an issue in 17 years. And, I mean, in 11 years, not one issue. We haven't not spent a day together in 11 years. And haven't had an argument or even a big fight in 11 years. So it's been very, very good. I was married twice before that, which was very, very bad. And
so you learned.
So, you know, I was just wondering what your take was, because, you know, people do kind of frown upon it sometimes. I mean, I personally couldn't care less. Ages like mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter, you know.
So let me ask you a question. Is your mate younger than you or older than you?
Younger.
Now, do you think if the ages were reversed, if she were older than you, would you think you'd be just as happy?
Absolutely. Because when I was younger, in my 20s and that, I only dated women 40s, even 50. And I love being with a classy, you know, woman that's been around and, you know, not immature. And I like it. You know, I think it's good. I think, you know, each can share and teach each other different things, you know.
So let me ask you something. What's fundamentally different with this young person than the 2 women that you had before?
Caring and trust and you know, I mean, it's all positive stuff rather than negative stuff. You know, there's no baggage and there's no you know, we both have the same common interest in things, you know, and we share in everything we do, and we don't get tired of each other. I you know, when I was in my marriages, you know, I mean, I'll be the first to admit it. I got very bored with it, and you know, Where you coming home, you're praying that the car isn't there, and it's not like that anymore. Now you pray the car is there, because it's a good thing. It's healthy. It's I think it just boils down to finding the right person, your soulmate, and if you got it together with each other in your soul and in your heart, it'll be cool. You know what I mean? I think if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's meant to be, it's not. I don't really think that age actually matters whatsoever, and I just, sometimes feel funny for people who do discriminate against that, which, I know, Chella, that you said, are you the younger or the older? And I do know there is a reverse discrimination about that, because it's great for guys to do it, but it's really not. People frown upon women doing it, and I don't see what the difference is. I really don't. I mean, if it's there and you love each other, what's the difference? As long as the whole idea of this life is just to be happy, and if you're happy and it works, who's to contest?
Well, there is a double standard in our society. Women don't get treated like men do. So
I agree. I agree 100%.
Right, they're called cougars, and you're right. It all depends on the individual.
Not so much a cougar, but just in general, women have been treated. There's never been an even playing field.
Right, but when a woman has a younger person, they're considered to be a cougar.
Right. Yeah. And when a man does that, he's a stud.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
So
right.
He's robbing the cradle.
Yeah. But I was just wondering about you taking it. I love the show. I watch it all the time, and I like where you're coming from. I like where your head's at, and I think it's good that you're spreading these positive vibes to people. I think it's wonderful.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for calling Body Shop TV.
Thank you, and have a beautiful Easter if you celebrate it, and if not, have a beautiful weekend.
Thank you. Same to you, honey.
Thanks for calling.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Well, going back to, if I could, going back to the body shop, to what you said. Again,
His name is not Body Shop.
Okay. Body mechanic. I'm sorry. Body mechanic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's
He
not
wish he
the
owned the
whole
body
show.
So wait a minute. He's not the whole show. I'm sorry, Chella.
Body
I'm sorry, Chella. I'm sorry. See, I offended one of the hosts.
You have gray hair.
Ooh, look at this. Look what's going on. Ooh, look at that. Do that. I like that. See?
Where'd you get that? Did you-
Hey. Yeah, see that? Now, what I was thinking is that the rule, he was talking about the age thing.
Right.
So who made that rule that it's not cool to date? You know what I'm saying? So another rule what you're saying is that societal expectation and standard, and we were talking on the break about the rules that have been implied. Like, who wrote these rules that we live by?
I want to hear from Deidre.
About age?
About, anything. You're so quiet.
I really don't
Taking
have
it all
much of
in.
a choice about who. You know what? I don't think about it much because I'm retired.
She's retired. She's out the box.
I don't even know.
Tell the audience what you retired from, just so they know.
Oh, I'm retired from dating. So I don't know. It's all right with me. I think that it depends on why people are together if they're very different in age. So sometimes people haven't finished their relationship with their parents, and if they're looking into that to finish, sometimes it can make it difficult on one or the other person. So, I think that's why it splits up as much as just everybody else judging. It can also cause a problem. But I really I don't judge it one way or the other.
Well, I think it's also alluring for a young person to be attracted to someone older because they have wisdom. They have a lot. It's like another parenting role.
They're supposed to have wisdom.
Right. Yeah. But like, for instance, that young man that was speaking on the phone, a lot of men don't like being challenged. And when you bring someone younger into an equation, you don't get those challenges because the person kind of looks up to you as the wise one. And that's what some men like.
It's a control issue.
Right, a control and domination.
So I was going to say, because when he said 2 women,
right.
I said,
well, it was interesting to see, as I'm listening to some of the comments from my neighbors here, Denise said, she goes, listening to the call, she goes, maybe I should get a younger man.
Why not, Denise?
You want me to be open, don't you?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I think.
But I don't, and I have dated much younger men. I've dated older men. I've dated men of all ages. But ultimately, it's chemistry, it's an attraction, and it's finding something that you have in common.
Right.
And a connection. So it's irregardless of how old or how young the person is.
and what I think is interesting is this. As we walk through life, if you have an inkling or a vision in your mind of what you want, then you're not being open to that relationship. You really aren't. You're not giving that person a fair chance to develop.
Say that
find
again?
If you come into a situation with, you come into a meeting with another human being, and in your mind you have preconceived notions of where you want to be, you're not giving your real relationship an opportunity to develop.
Wait a minute, I might be misunderstanding. When you saying this, if I come into a relationship and I got a preconceived notion where I want to be,
absolutely,
or where I want to go,
you don't even know what that person is about. You don't know anything about them, but you come in already with a game plan.
Oh, so you're talking about the relationship?
Right, you're already setting it up for it.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
It's like you come in with a puzzle. There's a piece that's not put in, and you're like, I'm gonna fit you in here.
Right.
That's what.
No, I understand what you're saying now.
Right.
I just thought
life is always changing. Every day the wind is different.
The only
temperatures are
consistent
different.
in life is change.
Hey, the only thing that's consistent is death that's on its way. That's the only thing.
You know, I agree. And when I look at all of these things, and you just thinking about what you said in regard to, it depends on what we look at, what perspective, and what eye and what lens we're looking through. Are we looking at the dating side of it, of what men and women want, and are we looking at the marital side?
But it's so comprehensive. It's everything.
Because if I'm married, I think I should have already identified what I want. I tell a lot of people now today when I says, go home if you have an issue with your spouse. Go home and ask them 3 questions. What do you want? What do you need? And what do you expect? It's clear. Because if you can identify what I want, what I need, and what I expect from you in this relationship, there is no confusion.
Yeah, but even if do it every day.
Right, but even if it requires you to write that down, so that you leave it, I don't care, on the side of your bed and a nightstand. If you need to go back to the rules or go back to what it is that you want, I won't say rules. Rules is a bad word. Go back to those things, because what happens is we get lost, because as we grow and we start to change, as long as I'm willing to do those things for you, not because I have to, but because I want to. Okay, and then we have an understanding, and I think that becomes truly important when we think about the growth and the change that comes along with it. Guess what? I know what you need. I know you need a hug every day when you walk through the door. You ask me for that. Okay? I know that's what
But
you
what
need.
if every day I don't feel like
No,
hugging
but
you?
if I'm based on what a woman may tell me, or what my spouse tells me, is that, baby, I need a hug every day when I walk through the door. I need a hug. Okay? That's what she needs. I got to be willing to give that to her. Okay? What do you want? Okay? I want you to just love me unconditionally. Okay? Then I'm going to do that. I got to be willing to do that. But a lot of times women say, he never loved me. Or I have to ask him to hug me. I have to ask him to do these things. Why? That's because he doesn't want to do it. And if he doesn't want it, that means he doesn't really want to love you. Imagine you have to ask somebody to love you.
Bingo.
So, it becomes a problem. It really does.
Very well said.
I agree. I think, what happens at the start of a relationship and how that relationship progresses or decreases or diminishes. And I think it's interesting with the 2 young people here. They're excited about their relationship. I don't know how long it's been going on for, but it's interesting to see where it will go. And I think it's great that they're both willing, open, and honest to let it grow and see where it's going to go, and don't have the expectations. So I think that's wonderful.
I think a lot of us, I think a lot of people, myself, I think we move through our lives thinking about what happened, and we're always trying to not make those things happen again. But if you're thinking about them, you just make them happen again.
Yes.
Just like instead of being open, and this is what I mean, like someone tells you they want a specific thing every day, you may not feel that way. So how do I look going in, doing something, and I may not feel like hugging that day, or I may not feel like having sex that day, or I may not feel like putting the garbage out that day. Those are all rules. That's what they are. And if you don't hit that, then I have a problem with it. Well, I don't like living in that world, because that world is not open. And no one is the same every day. No human being, no living thing is the same every day.
It's filled with a lot of expectations, and expectation at best,
Sets
to me,
you up for
is a premeditated resentment.
Absolutely. Because when you really, really feel like doing something, you're going to do it. And I would think that I would want someone to do it because they want to do it.
Not because they have to do it, of
Right.
course.
Right.
And I think a lot of times when people meet each other, that there's this, there's this euphoria, and I think a lot of times we skip a lot of steps We skip a lot of steps. We get together, we get that physical connection going on, and it supersedes everything. So now we have to walk backwards in the relationship and learn about that person.
When you
know
say
what?
physical connection, you talking about sex?
Right, crossing that line, because when you have sex, there is a mental mapping. There is a mental and vibrational connection with that person.
Then it becomes addicted.
It's not even that. It supersedes the most important portion of the relationship, and that's fact-finding about each other.
And that becomes the focus of the relationship moving forward.
Is the sex.
Not necessarily becomes an important part.
No, it also becomes a distraction also. Because what happens a lot of times, once you cross that line, you grow a little bit, but not as much as you would if you were fact-finding, learning more about each other.
Right.
So I'm interesting thing. So I wonder if going forward, this should be a test that we should I don't know if Body Shop TV could do this. Maybe we should put a couple people to test. I'm saying maybe we should just do a test and see if we can put a couple people and say, can you have a relationship and don't have sex? And go through the stages of getting to know each other first. Even when you are strongly attracted to that person. Like you look at them and say, wow, I want to have sex with you.
No, it takes discipline. Because understanding that if you really want to invest in something that's good, you find out about them.
I don't know if that could be done. We should put some people to the challenge.
You know, it's like I meet people and they say things like, they say things like, well, I only like women with big butts. Or women say, I like men with big this or big that or that size and that. Shoot shot. How could you walk through life like this?
But I think you hit the nail on the head, discipline. And I think men and women don't really have a lot of discipline in today's age.
No, they don't.
Not just discipline, it's also self-control.
Right.
See, it all depends what you're looking for.
I think everybody's in such a freaking rush to have
are
sex.
Are you looking for Miss Right, or are you looking for Miss Right now?
And have this chemistry. And then they think, well, because we had sex, that everything else is going to fall into place.
Right.
And it doesn't. So I absolutely agree with the body
True that.
on that.
And then that becomes the foundation of the relationship. And that happens to a lot of people.
So are we talking abstinence again?
Yes.
Are we back to the... It's a huge argument.
Well, you know, let's not talk about abstinence. Let's just talk about the most important thing, and that's development of the two people. All those things are part of the equation. You throw seeds in the ground, you nurture the soil, you put the compost down. Now the seed is in there, it starts to grow. You don't skip any steps. But the deal, at the end of the day, you got to know what's in the soil. You can't just jump in and start eating it.
That's the
Start doing what?
Oh my goodness, start eating it.
And you know what's so funny?
That can be interpreted a lot of different ways.
But that's why I throw it out there like that. But the deal is that we all need those steps. That has nothing to do with gender. That's living.
Right.
You know? And then once you really know that person, then those things won't be a surprise later on after you consummated it with that, because it always ends up going back to that.
Then we need to take the desperation out of situations.
Right. And you know what's so funny? Sex is thrown in our face every single day, all day long. Lipsticks, color, tight this, tight that, expose that. Everybody's exposed.
You got on a tight shirt. Chella's got, it's tight. I mean, you know why? Because sexuality, sex sells.
But my brain is loose, my brother.
I know it. Listen, I know that. But sex sells. Sex is a driving. It is sex.
It's a driving force.
It's a driving force.
Different things.
Two things: sex and money. So what happens is we find ourselves living into again those expectations that I gotta look good because nobody will want me. Again, the law of attraction. It's what you see that is what you want. Okay, and sometimes when you see it, you say, "I want it," and then so it becomes very hard to do exactly what you said. And I think what you said is key. But again, do I have enough discipline to really want this woman as good as she looks? I'm having visions of what I want to do to her sexually.
That's a great thing.
Do I have the discipline to wait? I don't. I mean, it's a very interesting challenge.
A lot of men think that way. See, that's something that I resorted back to when I was when I'm primitive and I talk about like sex for procreation and stuff. If you look at a woman and you're desiring her body to have sex with her, you are not looking at her as an entity, as an equal playing field. You're looking as an object to do something to. It's all the mindset. And that circumvents right through the relationship.
Has to be taught. I think that's a great training ground. I think it's some place for us, at some point in time to start. Because if we're looking at them as an object, I mean, it's a different perspective. I like the way you put that.
Listen to how you were saying it. And you know what? A lot of men talk that way. And then even women talk that way too. But you're setting yourself up for a downfall.
And I think this is a great topic for our next panel on relationships, abstinence, priorities, discipline. So I'm going to ask you a question.
Cold showers.
Cold showers. So I want to ask you guys a question. Did you enjoy this session on what women and what men want?
Yes.
And do you feel that it's something that we could do maybe once a month on different subjects relative to relationships?
Yes, absolutely.
I think it's boundless. I think we can go leaps and bounds.
Yeah,
You know,
the
it doesn't
sky's
even
the
make a
limit.
difference about age because we all are the same age.
Right.
We really are.
I think it's great. I had a great time. You know,
This
You
was
know, I had a
awesome.
great
I
time.
forgot the camera was on. I
You
really
know?
like.
You know, and that's
Besides
the good
the
one.
fact
But
that
besides the
the
fact
bouncer
that, you know, when I sat down, I thought, you know, that it was a heated seat, you know. But
you brought the heat, brother.
you know, I mean, it was very good. I mean, I enjoyed being here.
Good, 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 good.
You know, relationships are just, you know, there are no relationshipologists.
No,
you know?
I agree with you.
Even though there are some people who think they are, but it all boils down to, for me, it's only a few things. One of them is feelings. You know, what do I feel about the person? How do I feel when I'm with the person? You know, and how does the person, you know, how does what they do come back to me? Because everybody, like you said, everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be appreciated. Everybody wants all those things. But in order for me to tell my mate, this is what I want, like you said, you got to be prepared to reciprocate.
Right.
Because if not, then the relationship's going to be all off balance. You know, then you got the 70-30, the 50, the 40-60, you know, things like that. And then it's like, you know.
And you know, some people feel they have to reciprocate. That's stress in itself. All of these are things
should be
designed.
natural.
I'm telling you, we don't need these rules. People figured it out a long time ago without rules. The mammals do it.
Yeah, listen, you know, I think the key thing, you know, so many different things that I think about that keeps me happy now is that, you know, admitting that I love you to someone is great, is strong. But, you know, for me, what's more important is that not only do I love you, but I like you. Because I like who you are and what it is you represent and you stand for. Because, you know, you can love somebody. You know, and I've heard this in a lot of marriages, but I don't like who you've become. I don't like you as a person. You know, it's unfortunate. I love you because I've been with you so long, but I don't like you. And that becomes a problem because when you stop liking somebody, like is that thin line.
That's
you know?
right. Well, that's a very interesting statement also because sometimes you could be the contributing factor to the fact of why you don't like that person anymore because of how you'll interact with each other.
It could be.
Or maybe it's that you just don't like yourself.
Exactly.
And it's just, you know.
And rubbing off on her.
Right. And again, that's when you sometimes got to go back to the mirror, self-examination.
Right.
So a lot of times we have to check ourselves.
Yeah, do an inventory
You know,
of
yeah,
yourself.
got to do an inventory. You know? So
I
that's
just
it.
no, that's awesome because in my acting class, like if there's not enough people, you get to do the exercise in the mirror. Let me tell you folks something. You got to try this. Go home, look in the mirror, and talk to yourself. Tell yourself you love yourself. Watch how it makes you feel. I'm serious. It's like it's incredible. It's a great exercise.
And if you do it every morning for 30 days, you know,
I'm
you
telling
make
you,
or break a habit.
A lot of people don't like who they see in the mirror. So how can you go into the world and make demands?
Wow.
So in closing, because we have to close.
Chelly's awesome.
I know, thank you. So are you.
You guys are great together.
In closing, if we can go around the couch and just give some closing remarks about this session.
I think it was a needed session, a session that I'm glad I'll be able to be a part of.
We're glad you were here too.
Me too.
Very awesome.
You know, I was on the radio when y'all did this session on the radio, and I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Very much.
Good. Deidre?
Well, I think that the main thing I'd like to say is that if you are a person who's decided to go it alone, don't let anybody pathologize your decision. Just enjoy yourself.
Right
Live
on.
life.
Oh, God, I like the way you said that. That is, people always stepping outside their box.
Very organic. Yo, D.
Well, I'm definitely glad you guys have me here. I learned a few things, which is pretty cool. You know, and if it's all one thing about relationships for me, it's about being non-judgmental of my past, right? Respectful of my present, and supportive of my future.
Right on.
regardless how crazy it could get at any point in time.
Okay, thank you.
That's awesome.
Colin?
I'd like to thank you guys. This was a great segment.
Thank you.
I appreciate everyone's input. I learned a lot today. And I agree with what Body Mechanic was saying, is that we've got to stop looking at each other physically and as pure energy, and that we're all one behind it all. So if you find someone that makes you see that, there's something there.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Darren?
Again, I'd like to thank you for having me, participate. And for me, in closing statements on just the topic of, what men and women want, I would say this for the men, is whatever it is that you desire as a man, when you find out what that special woman wants, make sure you're willing to give it. Because relationships are give and takes. So make sure that you are able to give the same things that you want, that you're able to give to that special woman. And if she means that much to me, it won't even be a thought process. You'll just do it naturally. Thank you.
Thank you. Denise?
Yeah, I think, keeping an open mind, irregardless of age, everything. Where that person is in their life, what they're carrying with them, what you're carrying with you, and just keep that open mind and see what that person may be able to bring to your world. So thank you so much for today.
Oh,
It's
thank
great
you,
meeting all
Denise.
these people.
So glad you came. It was awesome.
Stephanie?
Well, thank you guys for having me here. I think I learned a lot, wisdom from all you guys. But yeah, I think what I'm taking away most is that the relationship with yourself is first and foremost. And that's most important. If you want to love anybody else, you have to love yourself.
Thank you. Bud Mechanic, you have anything you want to say?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
In our life, we're going to meet lots of people that have lots of opinions and lots of things. Let me tell you something. Listen to yourself. Let you feel what's going on inside your body, and you make your own decisions. That's all I want to say. And be open, be present.
Right, I agree. And I just want to thank all of our guests. You guys were amazing,
Awesome.
great contributions. And I just want to share that continue, if you don't already, continue to love yourself. Look in the mirror every morning and tell yourself one thing each day that you like about yourself. And I guarantee in 30 days you will love that person in that mirror. I want you to have an awesome week, have an awesome Easter holiday, and love hard and kiss long. Have a great week.
Love hard and kiss long.